Hey, welcome to Long Distance Sisters.
I'm Tori.
I'm MacKenna.
And I'm Serena.
Come chat with us while we're far apart.
Okay, let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode. This week it's just MacKenna and I am Tori. Serena is super busy with grad school, so we let her off the hook this week.
Apparently a lot of other weeks.
Well, yeah, our schedule might have to adjust for this season. Maybe we'll have more bi-weekly releases. Might fit our schedule a little better. But you'll have episodes, just can't promise how regular they'll be.
So since Serena's not here, of course, Tori and I are going to take this opportunity to talk about Disney. And today we'll be going over Disney, like, table service, sit-down restaurants.
Yeah.
We could always do quick service another time.
Oh, yeah.
Because quick service is at least my go-to over table service.
Hey, like, hot take, most of the quick services I think are better than the table service options.
A lot of times,
especially in the parks, like,
especially in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, in the
which
resorts
will be the first park that we get to.
Yeah, so the resorts is different, but I think in the parks, like, you're just better off going quick service for the most part. So yeah,
and you pay to spend the day there, so like the quicker you can get through your meals, the better. Plus it can also give you the opportunity to snack around the parks instead, which is sometimes more fun, like in Epcot.
Yeah, although I will say, I think if you have really, really little ones, like infants with you, you might want the rest break of like sitting inside for like an hour and a half, not having to worry about getting anywhere.
Or Midsummer.
Or for the sake of meeting characters all at once while you're eating and not having to stand in multiple lines, especially for like the princess breakfast. Like, I think it would save you a lot of time, and you'd like check off the list a lot of the characters that your child may want to meet. It just kind of depends what you're looking for out of your Disney trip.
Well, I think there are some character meals that are worth it, but I wouldn't say like Cinderella's Royal Table is worth it.
Well, it's definitely not worth it for the food, but you get to meet all the princesses. So like if you're going with maybe a little girl who just cares about the princesses, then like you're gonna get to meet all of them right there and not have to stand in any other lines. You'll get to meet some that you can't meet other places. You don't have to go looking high and low for them, and you get a nice long little like meet and greet with them. It's not just like a picture and go. It's like they could sit with you at your table for a minute and chat and take pictures and sign and all of that.
I mean, Akershus isn't open right now in Epcot, but that might be a lot less expensive than Cinderella's Royal Table. So check to see if that's reopened by the time you go on your trip. So that's another place to meet multiple princesses.
Yeah. For the most part, like when you do character dining, you're paying for character dining. You're not paying for the food. Like the food is usually not that amazing for the price that you're paying, but you're just paying to have the character experience.
So I guess let's start with Magic Kingdom, where I think, in my opinion, the only must-try restaurant, especially if you are more adventurous of an eater, is Jungle Skipper Canteen. It has a full name, but I'm not gonna say it all.
Yeah, I would agree, but I haven't eaten there yet, so.
I just ate there in August for the first time. And I got the curried vegetable crew stew. Very good. And then my boyfriend's a little less adventurous of an eater. I mean, he'll still eat pretty much anything you put in front of him, but he just got the chicken and he thought it tasted really good too. And especially if you love Jungle Cruise, which I'm not a big Jungle Cruise fan, like Q-Gas Pier or whatever, but I only go on it once, maybe every few years. Otherwise, the jokes get really old really fast. But it was cute. It was kitschy. I did enjoy the jokes that are more specific to the restaurant. and looking around the restaurant and seeing all the detail they put into it.
Well, I haven't eaten there. I've heard good things though. I want to eat there. So my top in the park that I have tried, what I would say is Liberty Tree Tavern. Crystal Palace maybe, but I haven't eaten there in a really long time, so I don't know what the food is like now. But they do have Winnie the Pooh characters, and a lot of people say the food's good there too. But I really liked Liberty Tree Tavern. Like the food is like somewhat basic, but it's really good, and it's family style, so you don't have to get up and go to the buffet, but you still get plenty of food. And there's something for everyone. So
Were you saying Liberty Tree Tavern?
Liberty
Okay,
Tree
because
Tavern.
Crystal Palace was family style for a while, but they're back at buffet
But
now.
now they're buffet, yeah.
And let me put this out there now, by the way. McKenna, am plant-based. I'm the only plant-based one in my family. But if you are plant-based, then I guess I will be talking more towards you, but I've also heard lots of reviews from non-vegan people about these restaurants, so I can kind of relay what I've heard. And a great resource for plant-based people when you go to Disney are the like Instagram pages, websites for Vegan Disney World and Vegan Disney Food. Vegan Disney Food tends to do more table service, especially on the pricier end, and Vegan Disney World tends to do more quick service, but they both do a little of everything.
So
Or
that
follow my Instagram at Disney Safari Girl.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the restaurants we didn't mention then and we don't really think are worth your time or money would be
Number one, Tony's Town Square.
yeah, Tony's Town Square. Although some people said some of their 50th menu was better. But on the whole,
I've heard it's like
cheap
I
Italian.
heard it's okay, and that the vegan stuff's like decent, but it's Italian food. You can probably find better Italian food at your local restaurant, unless you're vegan. Then you might not be able to, depending on where you live.
Yeah. And then we did talk about Cinderella's Royal Table. Again, the food is nothing special, but the character experience is unique.
I would choose Be Our Guest over Cinderella's Royal Table, because I think the inside of Beast Castle is so beautiful and they put such great detail work into it. Like just sitting in there is an experience itself.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the beast walks by and everything, but seeing the West Wing is so cool. And I only ate there pre-pandemic when they still had like a quick service breakfast available, and that was really good.
To be honest, I ate there not that long ago. Yes, the inside is really cool. Like if you can go in there and just look around, amazing. Please ask. They'll probably say no. But we did dinner. I think lunch is a little cheaper than dinner. We were pretty underwhelmed by the food. I thought the food was better when I went when it was quick service in 2019. So I was very underwhelmed by the food, and you just get to see the beast like walk by, like he doesn't really come to your table or anything. So that was kind of like meh. And like we didn't see Belle at all. Which
I don't think she shows up.
I think she used to be at the end. Like when you were
I haven't heard about her being there since the pandemic.
Yeah, I think that was just pre-pandemic. Like she would be at the end, like where the mosaic is, and you could get a picture with her. But so like I was kind of like very underwhelmed with our experience there. I didn't think it was worth the like $75 price tag at all. But it is definitely cool to see the inside. So hopefully they change it back to having a quick service option early in the day or go at lunch, because I do think it is a little cheaper at lunch. And there's the Diamond Horseshoe, which I've never done. It recently reopened. They have a little like show.
Is it still doing Liberty Tree Tavern menu?
I don't think so. No, at one point it was just like expanded seating for Liberty Tree, but I think now it's open as the Diamond Horseshoe again.
Oh, okay.
But I've never done it, never really heard much about it, so I imagine it's not that special. That's everything, right? I think so.
Plaza Restaurant,
Oh yes,
which
Plaza.
you can get good ice cream sundaes there because it has the Plaza ice cream parlor next to it.
Yeah.
And I hear their 50th stuff is pretty good. I would say from what I've heard, this is probably might be the second best. Well, Liberty Tree Tavern might be better, but Plaza Restaurant's definitely good if you want to make a reservation out of the heat, or out if you want to make it for when it usually rains in the day. Then I guess we'll basically say Jungle Skipper Canteen, Liberty Tree Tavern, or the Plaza Restaurant would be good options.
Yeah. The Plaza is mostly like sandwiches, that kind of food.
More basic, more home style.
Yeah. And Crystal Palace is not bad, but you're paying for character dining price tag, but I think the food is better there than at like Cinderella's. It's all just, American food. Like literally all of these options except for Jungle Cruise are just like American food. Nothing that spectacular, let's say. But let's
Yeah.
move on to the next park.
Animal Kingdom. Disney's Animal Kingdom. Oh my god.
Home of the
The
best
light is
food.
hitting so weird. Right here. Okay. But okay. I haven't or at least I have no memory of ever eating at a restaurant in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. I will say, I haven't eaten at Tusker House since I was really little. But I've heard really good things about Tusker House. In terms of the food is good. It has some of the unique options that Boma has, if you've been there and are familiar. Tusker House has a lot of those options. And then you also get
That is a character meal. That is a character meal I would pay for. They are all in their safari outfits.
Yeah. And it's not just like the basic food. Like for the most part it is, but you get some unique options in there too. So yeah, I've heard good things about that. I have eaten at Yak and Yeti.
Oh, I want to try there so
Probably not
bad.
since 2019. It's fine. It's nothing that's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like you can get just as good like Indian food or Japanese food at like a local restaurant, I think. But it's definitely good and filling for the day.
Yeah, and if you're a Landry's member, they're owned by Landry's. And there's also a Rainforest Cafe at the front of Animal Kingdom that you actually don't need a park ticket to get into. But I mean, it's just a basic Rainforest Cafe. There's nothing special.
Yeah. And I've also ate at Tiffin's last year.
Lucky.
Last year, while I still had 40% off. So before I was let go. So it must have been 2020. So I didn't like Tiffin's, to be honest. None of my food was like amazing. I tried the mac and cheese, which is what everyone says is like the best thing ever there, and I was just kind of like couldn't even finish it. Like one because it was super rich, and two because I was just like didn't do anything for me. I don't know. I think if you were to go, I want to go back to go to Nomad Lounge, which is the lounge attached to Tiffin's, and just have drinks and a snack maybe. I think I would like that. But for the price of Tiffin's, and I mean, the vibe was really weird. Like there weren't that many people in there, and like I don't know. I was just like, this isn't very fun. I don't know.
I heard the bread service is what's really good there, like at
Yeah.
Sanaa.
We got there that too. But yeah, I mean, it's similar to Sanaa. Just go to Sanaa. Like it's better at Sanaa.
You could also get it at the lounge.
Yeah. But I think you only get like 3 or something dips, whereas Sanaa you get like 10 or more, 12.
I think it was 9. I don't know.
A lot, and they're all
But
good.
anyway, that's it for Animal Kingdom restaurants. I guess just maybe don't pay for Tiffin's.
Yeah. Yeah. They're all a little overpriced, but they're better than I think the Magic Kingdom ones. But honestly, Animal Kingdom has like the best quick service options. Like just do quick service.
On to Epcot. Probably one of the my favorite Disney meals I've ever had was at Epcot. It was at Rose and Crown. I got their, I think they usually have like chicken masala curry on the menu, but you can ask for an off-menu tofu masala curry, and it was so good. There were just so many amazing flavors, and it looked beautiful too. But I would go back there just for that. Like, I wouldn't try any of their other like vegan options on the menu. Like, I would go back for that tofu masala curry. It was so good.
Yeah. I got the chicken curry there. I thought it was fine. I think it's just as good or not as good as like if you just go to an Indian restaurant. But I
They
mean, it was
also
fine for in the park.
they also have obviously like decent, good like pub kind of drinks there. And I got a cider and with a like shot of black currant juice, and that was so good.
Yeah, Rose and Crown is a good option. Going around the world showcase, then you also have Le Cellier in Canada.
I
I've
really
never
want
been
to try
there.
that.
Yeah, it's
It's so
out of my
pricey.
price range.
And there are like multiple plant-based options. Like, I'd actually have to choose between things. It all
Yeah,
sounds so good.
and they have a secret menu for pass holders.
Mm.
um, so yeah, but heard good things. Apparently, it's the best food in Disney World, but I've never
Yeah.
had it, so I don't know.
And the Canada Food and Wine booth, you can get Le Cellier's, I think, steak and their like cheese soup
Yeah,
at the Food and Wine booth. So you can get a sample of it for under $10, I guess.
yeah, and it's always like the longest line at Food and Wine. And then Mexico has 2 restaurants, both of which I've heard are like way overpriced to pay for mediocre Mexican food. Like good Mexican food's pretty easy to find
I
outside of.
hear the quick service in Mexico is really good Mexican food. So just go for the cheaper option.
Yeah.
Plus the one that is inside the temple, it the lighting's really sucky in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to see like the first bit of the Three Caballeros ride, but like that's not really part of the ride anyway.
Yeah. And then going around, Norway has Oscar Shoes, which is not reopened yet, but that's a princess dining.
Soccer shish.
Buffet. That's what I said.
No, you should ask her shoosh.
What? Princess dining, Scandinavian inspired food, but it's still kind of your traditional bacon and eggs breakfast and all that. I've only gone for breakfast though, and it was fine.
Beer garden in Germany.
Yeah. Again,
I
I
like
mean,
it.
maybe I'm a picky foodie, a food snob. The Germany one is fine. Again, you're paying a fixed price for a buffet. You get entertainment while you're there, like some little musician guys and bell ringers and yodelers, whatever. But the food was
Yeah,
mostly
polka.
like sausages and salads. Which I don't know, just not my thing really. So
Sauerkraut and vegetables. It's all traditional German food.
I mean,
I
yeah,
like it. I like that cuisine.
yeah.
Like,
I
they
mean,
had
the
a really
vegetables,
yummy bean salad and stuff, and they have pretzel rolls, and I love sauerkraut personally. And even though I don't always enjoy being sat with strangers at a table, which you could, if it's not super busy, you can ask them not like to sit you at your own table, or like put a space between you and a random party. But I really enjoy the atmosphere. I really enjoy the food. And for anyone with, I mean, with anyone with allergies in general, but I can definitely speak for plant-based people. They like send a chef out if you tell them you're vegan, and they'll show you around the buffet, and they'll make you extra stuff if you want extra stuff based on what they have available. So it's really nice. I really enjoy it. And
via
it,
Napoli. Way overpriced.
Tori and I have different opinions.
I
Tori
just
doesn't
feel
think
like I went there and I got like 2 drinks. I split a pizza and another thing, which I'm pretty sure was like a salad thing. And it was like almost $100. And I was like, what the heck? The
2
pizza is
drinks
not even that
each.
big or filled. No, 2 drinks. Like I got one, he got one. We got a pizza to split, and then another thing to split, which I think was a salad, and it was like almost $100. And I was like, this is dumb. Like we weren't even full.
The time I went there with Mom, Nana and Poppy, or yeah, Mom, Nana and Poppy. Like we thought the price was fine for what it was. Yeah, like a little overpriced. We didn't think it was that overpriced, and we enjoyed the food. Like we thoroughly enjoyed it, and they source all their ingredients really thoughtfully too. Like they get their water from Philadelphia because it's the same like pH or like little micronutrient content or whatever as the water in Italy, so the like dough can be more authentic too. And I just think it's so I enjoy it. If you love Italian food and you're not big on trying new cuisines, then like Via Napoli, I would say go to it. But they
I
sometimes have a pizza window open too.
I definitely liked the food. The food was delicious, but it was just kind of ridiculous to pay that much for pizza. Like I could find brick oven pizza anywhere. And then the fancy one in Italy, I've never tried. Tutto Italia, I think.
I feel like that's more like a wine cellar. Like you just get a snack,
No, it's a
or is
restaurant.
it just not open? Has it
It's a
reopened as a restaurant?
It's a restaurant, and there's a wine bar attached that you can go just into the wine bar, but it's a restaurant. Like a real expensive restaurant.
In Japan, there are two. There's Teppanyaki and what's the Tokyo Dining? It's just your standard Japanese food. Don't pay all that money for that. What they have at Disney.
Yeah, for Teppanyaki, yeah, it's just like hibachi stuff, hibachi style. Tokyo Dining, though, is more of a dining experience where you get small plates spread out one at a time over like a long time, kind of like how you see, I don't know, like travel bloggers do, where they go and they sit in like a room where it's just one table and they bring out like small fancy plates. The Tokyo Dining thing is like an experience, but also like I don't know if Disney's the place you want to have that experience or how good it is for the price that you pay.
Especially when you're paying to be in the park, why spend a long period of time eating Japanese food that you can get outside the park.
Yeah. And then China, there's a restaurant. It used to apparently be really bad. People say that the new chef is better, but I have still not tried it. But they say it's pretty good.
I've heard that it's still just like standard Chinese food. But I will say for plant-based people, like I know I'm usually uncomfortable going to Chinese restaurants and like feeling comfortable that what they're giving me is vegan. But going to Disney at their like Chinese restaurant, I would feel more comfortable eating what they say is plant-based.
Yeah. And when we say standard Chinese, we mean standard American Chinese food, like your orange chicken, your kung pao, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come around to France.
No, Morocco. You missed Morocco.
Oh yeah, Morocco. Well, Morocco only has Spice Road table now, and it's small plates. And like there's like never anyone in there. Like every time I walk by, there's like one table.
And it's so good.
But is it? Have you tried it since it's the new management?
No, but I hear the hummus fries are still like the same. They're still super good. And they still have dolmas. No, dolmas never disappoint. And I've heard so many good things from vegans and non-vegans about their pomegranate chili crispy cauliflower. And I really want to try it. I also want to get the Moroccan mint tea with gin.
Yeah. Well, that you can get outside of
the
restaurant.
But still.
But yeah.
I'd rather sit with a beautiful view of the lagoon that has since been ruined by the harmonious barges.
Well, they're taking them out, so
good.
At some point, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Spice Road table, I'm sure the food is good. But again, it's small plates, so you have to be ready to shell out a little bit more money if you're planning to like fill up there. because each plate probably is like $10 to $15, and it's just going to be a little bit of food, like an appetizer. So France is the last one, right?
Yeah, they have a few. They have like 3
Yeah.
sit-down restaurants.
Yeah, so they have the fancy 2 ones up front. So the like Chefs de France and Monsieur Paul. Monsieur Paul is super expensive, so I've never eaten there and probably never will. Chefs de France I want to, but again, I have not. But I know pre-pandemic they had bottom, maybe post too. I don't remember. They had bottomless mimosas there. um, which like that's a rarity in Disney World. Like let's just say. But I've heard good things about it. You know, if you want to try escargot or duck à l'orange or, you know, all those French foods you hear about, that's the place to go. But with Ratatouille, they opened a creperie in the back, and it has a quick service and a table service. And we did the table service, and I'm going to say that that's my favorite table service in Epcot.
I really want to try it.
Yeah, you can get savory and sweet crepes. They have other stuff too, salads and probably some sandwiches and stuff. And they have a deal where you pay, and it was like a good deal. I don't quite remember the price.
I feel like it's like 32, 35 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it's like 35 or something, and you get a savory, a sweet, and an alcoholic beverage and a salad, I think.
Yeah.
And like that's a lot of food at Disney World for $35. And so I did that, and it was all really good. And that's a smaller restaurant, so it's not so like overcrowded and stuff. So
And I hear like service is decently quick.
yeah. And like as much as I can speak to the authenticity of crepes and galettes, which are the savory crepes, these were pretty authentic. So yeah, definitely recommend.
All right, and then there are 3 restaurants in what was formerly known as Future World. Space 220, which is the newest. I haven't tried it yet. I might just go to the lounge and try the carrot cake because that's all I really want to try. But I really want to see the view, and of course, I'm a bit partial to it because my college program, I worked at Mission Space, which if you want to hear more about the Disney college program, Tori and I both did it in fall 2019. So you can listen to that in one of our previous episodes. I want to see the view of the world. I want to see the astronaut taking a dog on a spacewalk.
Yeah.
The X2 booster. Okay, that's a little niche.
And I think like you have to do the lounge otherwise, because the regular restaurant is like a prefixed menu, and you have to get it like and so it's expensive. I've heard you get a ton of fries on your plate, like 2/3 of your plate is French fries. I mean, that was at the lounge. I don't know about regular, but yeah. But I haven't been there either. And then you have Garden Grill over at the Land. We used to eat there a lot when we were younger, but I have zero memory of what the food was like. But it does
I have zero memory of that.
Yeah, it does have like use like the produce from the greenhouse downstairs, like that you can go through Living with the Land on. So that's kind of cool. And it has characters. It has like Mickey, like Farmer Mickey and Chippendale or something.
Yeah.
And
And Pluto. And I will say, I'll bring this up now. But for places that are like buffets and stuff, I'm pretty sure it's still the case where if your child is under 3 years old, you don't have to pay for them. As long as you're paying for at least one adult, you don't have to pay for a child under 3. So while your child under 3 may not remember all of it, you can get cute photos and not have to pay extra for them. Like not have to pay children's price for them when they're probably not going to eat that much.
Yeah. Then the last Epcot restaurant is what is it called? The Living Seas?
Coral Reef restaurant.
Oh, Coral Reef. It used to be the Living Seas, right?
Yeah. Well, the whole pavilion used to be the Living Seas.
Oh, yeah.
I have eaten there. The food was fine. It was okay, but I still loved the experience. The food at Coral Reef was pretty, like, it was fine. It was okay. I'd eat it. But I loved it because I love marine biology. I love aquatic wildlife. That's what my whole master's degree was about. So I loved watching all those animals swim around in their aquarium while I was eating. And I would definitely go back again for that, but not all the time. Definitely not all the time.
Okay, so I think we covered Epcot.
All right, so on to Hollywood Studios. They have 5 sit-down restaurants here. I have eaten at 2 of them. 50's Prime Time is a classic. I think the food's pretty like meh, like whatever. It's good, but it's not something I would go on my way for. Most people eat there for the experience because you're kind of like in a 50's kind of kitchen and your family, quote unquote, is serving you. And like mom's supposedly in the kitchen cooking. We have very home style food and they'll like enforce table manners, but kind of jokingly. But one time the last time I went there, I was made kind of uncomfortable by my server. And it kind of makes me not be dying to go back or anything.
I have never, well, I've eaten there when I was really little, but I don't really remember it. So yeah.
Oh, but I will say when I ate there in 2019, my food, it tasted like a bucket of salt was dumped into it. It was so salty and so bad. And I hate sending food back. So I just ate it. And I didn't want my server to yell at me, so I just ate it all.
Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
hear the milkshakes are really good. I mean, they make vegan milkshakes too, so I can say the vegan milkshakes are really good. And they have apparently a PB&J milkshake that's really good.
So is that your favorite restaurant and studios?
I mean, I've only eaten at 2, and I wouldn't call either of them a favorite.
Okay. My favorite is Sci-Fi Dine-In. I think it's always good. I mean, it's typical like diners kind of food, like burgers and stuff, burgers, milkshakes, but the atmosphere is so cool. And yeah,
That is
just a fun restaurant and the food is really good. One time I went there, I had the best burger of my life, but it was like a special, so they've never had it again. But it was so good.
yeah, I would definitely go back. I haven't been since I was little, but that's also the restaurant I have the most vivid memory of as a child, and it's a very fond memory.
So yeah, definitely recommend Sci-Fi. It's hard to get a reservation, so look early if you plan to go.
Okay, do they serve on roller skates, or was that just me?
I think they do.
Or did they at least used to?
Or maybe they used to. No, I think
I
they.
remember
I don't
that.
know.
I don't know. But I just had to bring that up.
Yeah.
Comment down below if you know.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the character dining for Hollywood Studios is Hollywood and Vine. I haven't been there. Have you, Tori?
I had dinner there in 2019. I thought it was good. It was fine. It was again American food. I've had it with these American buffets. Like, come on, give us something different. But it's fine. And the characters were cool. It was like just Mickey and friends, but they were in like their Christmas best when I went. So it was cute.
Yeah, and they change out the characters' outfits seasonally. Their signature dining is Hollywood Brown Derby. I haven't been. I don't want to spend that kind of money.
Yeah, no. You can, however, you can eat at the lounge and they have a lot of the like famous menu items on the lounge menu at a cheaper price because I'm sure it's like a smaller portion or something. And you could get drinks at the lounge and all of that. So it's a good option. I have not eaten in the restaurant either.
And then the last restaurant is Mama Melrose's, which is an Italian restaurant. And actually, even though I hear like the food's just okay, I really want to try it because their plant-based entree, which is a polenta cake with like mushroom and herb cauliflower. It just looks so good. I just really want to try it. Like, I'm down for some good lemon souffle for dessert or margarita flatbread. Like, give me that. I want that.
Yeah, I've gone there a couple times because it's one of Kevin's family's favorite. So we usually go with them. And it's good. I'm like, I would say it's better maybe than your local Italian place, but not than like, well, that's weird to say because your local one could be anything. It's better than if you order Italian food from like a pizza place. I would say it's on par with like Buca's and those bigger Italian. Like I think it's better than Olive Garden. The pasta, not in terms you don't get like the salad, obviously, but but it's pretty good. Yeah, not amazing, but good. Yeah, I like it, and it's usually not too crowded. You can usually find a reservation pretty easily. It's filling. Yeah, it's a good option.
So basically, every Hollywood Studios restaurant has their pros and cons, hits and misses. So honestly, just pick whichever cuisine sounds the most and atmosphere sounds the most interesting to you.
Yeah, Italian,
Or just
American,
go quick.
American, American, or American,
Italian. American Italian.
Italian, American, 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 American. Yeah. It's like, do you want burgers and shakes or do you want meatloaf and pot roast?
Or pizza and pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely get more adventurous quick service options.
Yeah. For sure.
All right. For Disney Springs and Resorts, let's just go over big bops and big flops.
Yeah.
Because there are so many restaurants. We don't have time to talk about all of them.
So many.
So
Disney Springs. You want to go first? Go ahead.
I'll just say there's another Rainforest Cafe here. So obviously, like, if that's a big thing for you, or if you're a Landry's person, that's a big thing for you, fine. Like, go ahead. But Landry's also has T-Rex, which same kind of level of food. Just like you're surrounded by dinosaurs, which I probably will do at some point because Ryan loves dinosaurs and he really wants to try it out. And maybe if we ever go with his family, they're Landry's people. So we'll try it out with them, I'm sure. But I'm just gonna get my big flop out of the way. I hate Paradiso 37. When I went, the service was incredibly slow. We got seated like 20 minutes after our reservation, maybe even longer. The food was really just like meh and overpriced for what it was. And that is the only place where I've tried several times to like drink a margarita or something because they have good happy hour deals. And I cannot finish a drink there because it's just so bad. I will throw it out. I don't care how much I paid for it, I will throw it out. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I would agree. My experience with Paradiso has never been that good. Like, they don't give you a lot of food for the price you're paying in a restaurant that you wouldn't expect small portions. Like, it's a Mexican restaurant, you expect like you're gonna be full when you walk out, and like they give you these tiny little portions of everything, and like it's not that good. Yeah.
I get that some places you have to pay for chips and salsa. Like there you do, but our chips, it came out like 2 little bags of chips, and one of the bags, all the chips were stale.
Yeah.
It's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And their salsa was like smoky, and I just don't do smoky flavors. Like I'm not into Chipotle flavors and stuff like that.
I think that's really the biggest flop. Table service there.
Yeah. Otherwise, table service is pretty banging.
Yeah. I would say honestly, I was underwhelmed with what's the Irish pub called again?
Raglan
Raglan Road. I love Raglan Road, the bar. Like I love the bars outside and the music and the drinks and the snacks. But Raglan Road table service inside, I did not like the food choices. And like what I got, I didn't even think tasted good. So I would say go to Raglan Road for the outdoor bar, not for inside.
I really want to make a reservation there because it is so hard to get a seat or even like a seat at the bar. I'll probably make a reservation there one time for like a Friday night. Um just so like we can sit in the atmosphere, see like the river dancers or whatever. But I would mostly make that reservation for the atmosphere. But I do hear the vegan options are pretty good. So
Yeah.
a simple but good one, in my opinion, is Terralina. A lot of options overall, but still like a decent number of vegan options too. I love their like complimentary bread. It's so good and it comes with like pickled veggies, which I'm big for. But it's just a nice, simple, it's good lunch.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And it's pretty easy to get a reservation there or to walk in. You might have a little wait, but it usually won't be as big as other restaurants there. But yeah, they have a good menu. It's Italian, but it's a little bit more like fresh kitchen Italian, not so much like pizza and pasta. Like they definitely have pizza and pasta, but like it's more about the produce and the fresh flavors and the salads.
Yeah.
It's cool. They have a really, really good charcuterie board, like the best. So like highly recommend that. It comes with lots of pickled veggies. So it's a little bit more unique. It's good. Oh, okay, let's go. So I guess I'll go on. My favorite restaurants at Disney Springs, my top one is Homecoming, because can't go wrong. Oh, McKenna is gone. The food is great. It's southern. It's always delicious. It's always filling. Yeah, love Homecoming. And then I also love House of Blues, which they have a lot of unique food options, like fun food options. It's always good. The drinks are good. The atmosphere is good. Definitely recommend that. Go, Flames, go. Go out. Go to the doggy park. I was just saying how I like Homecoming and House of Blues. And then my curveball for good food is actually Splitsville. I think Splitsville has really good food, actually. It is a little pricey for what it is, but it comes with a lot. Like I usually get this like chicken stir fry thing, and like I easily get 2 meals out of it. Like it's so good though. They have good like nachos and just like fun bar food. But and like an Asian twist though, because there's like fried rice and noodles and stuff. So definitely recommend. Those are my top 3, I think.
I know there are a few vegan. There's like edamame and veggie roll for vegans at Splitsville, and I've had the veggie roll and it's fine. Again, yeah, a little pricier than your usual veggie roll. I hear House of Blues is great for vegans, especially if you like those like Beyond or Impossible burgers. I'm pretty sure they have Impossible there. Homecoming, they'll work with you to find vegan options. I had like when we went for Tori's birthday brunch, I had a vegan like fried chicken salad. I've had a chicken sandwich there. They're obviously vegan. They used to use our Gardein, now they use I think Beyond chicken. But yeah, it's good. But if you go for brunch, like you won't get any breakfasty brunch options if you're into like waffles or pancakes or something for brunch. At least for vegans. You will for non-vegans. One other restaurant. Well, first of all, I really want to try Frontera Cotina. But I can't speak to it yet because I haven't tried it. But Morimoto Asia was pretty good. There are some very expensive things on the menu, but I paid I think like $17 for Kung Pao cauliflower, and it was really good quality food, and I would pay that again, especially because we went to like celebrate my boyfriend's birthday. And we got like a little keychain souvenir, like they came around to take your photos, and I'm pretty sure the keychain was free. But you could also get your photos like blown up for something else and like pay a little extra. So we got a little souvenir.
The cauliflower you got, was it listed as an entree or was it an appetizer technically?
It was listed as an entree.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad, honestly. I
definitely went for I think I went for like the second cheapest vegan friendly entree.
Yeah. I have eaten there and but I didn't really pay attention to the prices because I wasn't paying. But I wasn't really ordering either. I was just like eating food. So they got a lot of expensive like sushi and stuff. But I've been afraid to go back because of the price tag of that dinner. But I've also heard you could get like a really good bowl of ramen for like under $20, and I'd be totally down for that. So
and they have a quick service place too, right?
yeah, they have a quick service, but it has like really limited options still since the pandemic. So meh.
Well, I guess that moves us on to resorts. Unless you have anything else to say, Tori.
No.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna start off by saying Animal Kingdom Lodge has 3 banger restaurants. So they got Boma their buffet, which obviously has like classic safe dishes for picky eaters, but also really adventurous dishes. So good, so freaking good. No characters, but it is one of the cheapest buffets on property. At least for breakfast, it is. And then Sanaa has cute views of, you can see some savannah animals. And again, adventurous eating, but also some like more picky eater friendly dishes. But multiple options for vegans at both those places. And then there used to be more options at Jico, their signature dining for plant-based people. But now it's kind of drawn back a little. I still really want to go. But I would say if you are like kind of a picky plant-based eater, don't go to Jico because their only entree right now is an injera basket. So like a bunch of things center, but the main part of it is this injera bread, which is made, I believe, from lentils, and it has an acquired taste. I like it, but it's definitely acquired. But I mean, that signature dining place, that was so good. Tori, I'm so glad you picked that for your birthday back in 2019. I would go back. I'll pay signature dining prices for that.
Yeah, it was good. My favorite is Sanaa. Like I think that's my favorite. Everything's so good. The bread service is like next level. Yeah. And then I do really like Boma. Jico, I was like, I liked it, but I didn't feel like a need to ever go back. I was just kind of like, yeah, it was fine. It was good, but yeah, not for the price tag, I guess. I would prefer Boma or Sanaa for sure. And other than that, I really like the Grand Floridian Cafe. I think it's a really good and affordable option, and they have a pretty good variety on their menu. I do like that.
I ate there on my last trip, and they have miso glazed salmon on their menu. I think for like $27, but I ordered the miso glazed tofu, kind of off menu. And they only charged me like $19, so it was cheaper. Wasn't expecting that. But it was so good. I would like go to the Grand Floridian Cafe again just for that. It was so crispy, so many great flavors, and their like plant-based apple crumble a la mode was like good. Definitely worth the price, and it had this like coconut milk ice cream on top that is some of the best, like not just vegan ice cream, but best ice cream I've ever had. It was so good. Such like good quality hard pack ice cream. Oh, that was way better than I expected. Oh my god. That whole meal was.
Nice.
My favorite, my one number one meal I've ever had at Disney was dinner at Cape May Cafe. It's like a seafood buffet, so you might not like the smell of it. Um, but Chef TJ, if you go on a night when he's working, which I'm not sure what his schedule is now, I think it used to be like Tuesday through Saturday, but again, I'm not sure what it is now. But he will take you like on a tour of the buffet if you say you're vegan, and then he'll still make you like 4 or 5 courses. And it all ends with this like dessert tower that's like fruit, ice cream, brownies, cookies. And then once he brings it out to your table, he just gives it a nice long drizzle of Hershey's chocolate syrup. And it was so good. It's what the first time I ever had beets when they weren't like dehydrated or partially dehydrated or anything, where I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. I love beets. I love beets. I like he brought it out to me and I was like, oh, thanks. But I took a bite and I was like, this was one of the best things I've ever eaten. It was so good. I would pay, and like I used like a 40% off coupon for it from being a cast member on my college program. But I would pay the full $50 for that Chef TJ meal. Yeah, it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
I really want to go try Hoop-de-Doo though. Cause I know like standard alcohol, like domestic beers or like sangrias are included in your price. And I'm like, one night with Ryan and his best friend, because they would love that show and they would love drinking all the Bud Light that they want before they get cut off, which Ryan can handle his alcohol very well. I'm afraid they would never cut him off. But I think that would just be so much fun. But I would go for the experience. I hear the food's like fine. But it's the experience you go for.
Yeah. I recently tried Steakhouse 71 at lunch and I thought it was really good. Not too expensive at lunchtime. But I would say probably my favorite of what's left is Whispering Canyon at Wilderness Lodge.
I want to try that so bad.
Yeah, it's like family style like skillets that you get that are filled like to the brim with like different barbecued meats and vegetables and potatoes and all this stuff, and it's all so good. And they'll like refill your skillet, like even if you just want like more potatoes or something, they'll just like bring you a bunch of potatoes. Like it's really good. And they do the same kind of thing where they're like kind of like funny rude to you. It's kind of low key there compared to other places, I think, but it is funny. Like if you ask for ketchup, they'll bring you like 20 bottles of ketchup.
Yeah. And if you're not, and they do have plant-based skillets, I think, for breakfast and dinner. But if you aren't into like the all you care to enjoy kind of scene, like maybe some of your family is, but others aren't, like our family, we usually go for buffets just because that's what most people in our family want. But some of us are like, it's not going to be worth paying for us because we're not going to eat that much. You can get a la carte options at Whispering Canyon. And they can be like full meals. I'm not saying it's all going to be like small plates or appetizers. So you do have that option, which can also help you save money.
Yeah.
And one of the cheapest buffets, though, I will say, well, the Whispering Canyon Cafe, their skillets are like, at least breakfast is like $22 for the skillet. So that's a good price for all you can get. But Trails and breakfast buffet is like $25, maybe $30 now. So that's definitely on the cheaper end of buffets too. That's fine. That's all right. That's pretty good. Have you been to Ohana, Tori? Because I obviously like Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch was a Glitch. It's my favorite Disney movie. So I do want to go to their character breakfast with Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. I've done Ohana, I've done breakfast and dinner. I think breakfast is better. Dinner, while that seems to be everyone's favorite meal, it's very expensive for like mediocre food. And they don't even have all of the same options that they had pre-pandemic. Like I think they used to have like shrimp and stuff, and they don't have that anymore. So like people go for like the lo mein noodles and the pot stickers, and I'm like, you can buy them frozen at the supermarket, and they'd be just as good. Like they're,
Yeah.
it's like I think it's the dinner is very overrated and very overpriced. You definitely get a lot of food, but I think the
And you
breakfast
can
is better. It's pretty much just standard breakfast food, but it is a fun atmosphere, and you get Lilo and Stitch, so it is unique.
and isn't you can still get some of like the classics, like the noodles or whatever at Tambu Lounge and the coconut bread pudding or whatever.
Yeah,
But they just jacked up the prices again on that. Like, isn't it like $12 or each
I don't know.
or something? I don't know. It's gotten way too pricey just to even do that. But Christmas morning 2019, we ate breakfast at Kona Cafe, and I really enjoyed that. I think everyone really enjoyed their food. They do have a vegan version of their classic Tonga toast. That's not what I got, but I did take some of my mom's strawberry sauce for,
Yeah.
for my meal.
Yeah, I did really like that breakfast, but the thing that I got that I loved and was obsessed with is no longer on the menu. However, they're about to reopen, or they just reopened from renovations, so maybe the menu is different right now or will be different. But they were down to like a really small breakfast menu. And I will say too, you can get the Tonga toast in Captain Cook's, the quick service downstairs. You get Tonga toast, and you can get their like whatever, like Polynesian nachos or whatever, which they serve during the day at Ohana. You can get at Captain Cook's for cheaper, and they're amazing. I get them like every time I go to the Polynesian.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they'll do vegan Tonga toast too at Captain Cook's. You just have to ask. One place I really want to go with Nana is Artist Point. The storybook dining with Snow White. And there's also the Evil Queen. I think Dopey and Grumpy. I just think Nana would really love that. So I'd love doing that, like experiencing all that with her. And I hear the food's pretty good too. But again, you're paying for the experience, not the food.
Yep.
Yachtsman, when I went, it was pretty meh. Like some of my food got cold kind of fast, although that was the cauliflower, and that's kind of what cauliflower tends to do anyway. But it wasn't like, wow, this is amazing. And like we had a 30% off coupon, so it's not like we were actually paying like super high prices for it. But my boyfriend's steak came out cold. Like that's not okay. And we were just I loved how they like for the bread service they had roasted garlic that you could spread on as smooth as butter. But I was just like, I was so underwhelmed and disappointed by it. Like I hear some people say it's their favorite and they go every time. But I'm just like, if there's something else where the food excites you more, go there.
Yeah, I agree.
Chef Mickey's. Let's end with Chef Mickey's.
Oh,
Chef Mickey's
Chef
is a
Mickey.
classic. That's the one I would say if there's one that you have to do at least once. Like some people say, oh, you gotta do Chef Mickey's at least once, Cinderella's table at least once, this once.
Yeah.
If there's one you gotta do at least once, it's Chef Mickey's.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 for the atmosphere and the characters.
Top 5.
2 out of 10 for the food. The food is awful, but it is
No, I hear it's gotten a lot better since it reopened. Have you been recently?
No, I'm not gonna risk it.
No, I hear it's so much better since they reopened.
I'll wait till I have children.
That's fair for the price.
Yeah.
I almost went like when it first reopened after the pandemic. I was like, should I make a Chef Mickey's reservation? Because at that point, breakfast was only $25.
Just wait till I have children again.
And then take them for free.
Yeah. Take them when they're 2. But yeah. Yeah, I think we covered all the big ones. I mean, there's ones I haven't been to that I think would be really good, but I can't speak to them.
Yeah.
I haven't been, like Topolino's and
Mm-hmm.
Citricos and Narcoossee's. I really want to go to, but out of my
Yeah.
price range.
Coronado Springs. I want to try all those places.
Yep. Yeah. Maybe we need to do a whole episode on lounges and bars.
Yeah. And then snacks and then quick service. Whichever one you guys want to hear the most, definitely leave down in the comments.
We could go on and on and on. If you haven't noticed.
And on.
Yeah,
All right,
but
you want to
thank
do?
you. Oh,
Want to do the quiz?
would you eat the same Disney and Pixar foods as everyone else? Which meal would you rather eat for breakfast? Mushu's porridge, eggs, and bacon, or a bowl of sugar bombs?
I really want to try I think isn't it congee that they make? Yeah, obviously vegan eggs and bacon, but I really want to try that.
Yeah, I want the porridge, eggs, and bacon. 56% voted porridge, 44% sugar bombs. Which cheesy pizza would you rather eat? A cheese and pepperoni slice from a Goofy movie or a cheese and broccoli slice from Inside Out?
Honestly, the first time I saw that cheese and broccoli slice from Inside Out, I was like, "Oh, I really want to try that." I like broccoli on my pizza.
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably try that. The other one looks like too much like fake cheese. I don't want that. Let's see. 81% Goofy movie, 19% broccoli. The Leaning Tower of Cheesa. Which meal would you order on a date? Spaghetti meatballs from Lady and the Tramp or Remy's Ratatouille from Ratatouille?
Ratatouille.
Yeah, I'd say Ratatouille as well. It was pretty much half and half.
Wow.
Which sweet treat would you snack on? Tiana's beignets or Empire biscuits from Brave? I gotta be
They
a
both look so
beignet.
good. But yeah, you gotta go for beignets.
Okay, people agreed. 85% beignets. Which questionable dessert would you try? The gray stuff from Beauty and the Beast or this almost expired Twinkie from Wally? Gray stuff. It's delicious. And 90% of people agreed. Which food would you order as an appetizer? The baguette from Aladdin or some homemade dumplings from Bao? Dumplings.
No, I am going with the baguette because Bao freaked me out. It was weird. She ate her child.
70% Bao. Which food would you rather take a bite of? Kronk's spinach puffs from Emperor's New Groove or the sushi from Cars 2?
Spinach puffs.
Yeah, I'll probably go spinach puffs.
That's probably like the Disney food I want to try the most.
Yeah, 68% spinach puffs. Which meal would make you go back for seconds? Tiana's gumbo or Miguel's abuelita's tamales? Ooh, probably tamales.
Yeah, same. I was never one for seafood, so I would never go for gumbo. And I'm not one for soup either. So
Yeah. 61% tamales. Which dessert would you consider trying? Cookies from Alice in Wonderland or the yellow snow cones from Monsters Inc? I don't know about yellow snow cones. Cookies.
I'm going yellow snow cones because I'd rather have that than have something weird done to me that I don't know if I can reverse.
Yeah. Finally, which sweet would you sink your teeth into? Rapunzel's chocolate chip cookies from Tangled or Dante's cookie platter from Coco?
I'm gonna try all those different cookies that are on Dante's cookie platter.
Yeah, there's even a concha on there. Yeah, I'll have to go that too. Oh, we were in the lowest. 71% said Rapunzel's chocolate chip cookies. All
I was
right.
kind of
Yes,
afraid
go.
Dante slobbered all over his cookie platter.
That's true. That's true. All right. I guess that is a wrap on this week's episode. Thanks for everyone for listening to us rant on about Disney again.
Definitely share your Disney restaurant opinions down below. If you agree with us, especially on Paradiso 37, more validation that place just is not great. We would appreciate. But yeah, your bops, flops, favorites, best meal ever.
Yep.
Or any questions too, because we have been a lot of places and we know a lot of other people who've been to pretty much every other place.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we can get your questions answered for you.
Yep. Let us know your thoughts. And thanks again. We'll catch you next
guys.
week. Bye. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this week's Long Distance Sisters. Be sure to subscribe for more episodes and leave a good review.
And check out the video version on our YouTube channel.
You can find all of our other social media information in the description.
Talk to you later.
Bye.